Hi everybody, welcome to another glass video. Sorry if I have to clear my throat, I've got a cold. We're starting with a couple of Porringers here. I think these are for like smelling or sampling wine. Some say they're for bloodletting. This is a depression glass one. It came in with an auction lot. I didn't really want it, but it was there. Not much to say about it. Kind of looks a bit like Crown, but I'm not sure. This has a nice grey colour to the glass, very sort of silky feeling, really nice quality. And the sides are moulded. Yeah, it's all moulded. I think this is like pressed in as well. The base has been cut and polished. There. There's some wear to it. It's kind of very even all over the base. If I didn't know any better, I'd say this is from the late 1800s, but yeah, not 100% sure. Anyway, it is a fairly old one. It's quite heavy. Not much of a sound to it. Almost the glass one sounds, depression glass sounds better. Anyway, these are really hard to sell. It's one of those examples of tableware that no one really uses anymore. This one might be more sellable because it's smaller, and these big ones, they take up so much room on the surface. So yeah, quite a nice little Porringer, that one. Let's move on. I bought 3 of these and I went back 3 weeks later to the same tip shop and I bought one more. They're quite heavy. Decent ring to them. Slightly flared wall, it's not quite straight. And what I noticed is inside the cutting, it's got an orange peel texture. Sometimes it's really quite bad. So they didn't really do a great job in finishing that. The clarity is not brilliant. I wouldn't say it's too off color, but it's just slightly off color if you hold it next to other Cristal. It's dark cut base. And again, some orange peel inside the cutting. So, you know, maybe you didn't acid dip it long enough or too long, or maybe the grinding wheel was a bit coarse to start with, not really sure. But yeah, just a little bit rough with the finishing on these. Anyway, I've got 4 of them. Here's another whiskey glass. We've got the old star, that's the Ambassador pattern by Royal Crystal Rock. And yeah, I haven't seen this in a whiskey glass before, so they're not exactly common. I think Royal Crystal Rock is one of those examples where the Italians just butchered a translation. I think somehow Crystal got translated to Rock Crystal. So yeah, it's kind of, and Royal just used to connote prestige, I suppose. That's my theory, because why would you have the word rock in a company that makes drinkware? I saw a guy who lives in Italy, he had another example where he says it was quite common for like butcher translations to get used without anyone checking them in sort of business names and stuff. Anyway, that's the Ambassador pattern by Royal Crystal Rock. And I picked up a pair of those. I'm pouring water all over the place because I washed these recently. This is a nice old, not sure if you call it a shot glass or a spirit glass. Maybe like a double shot glass. And they're actually fluted cuts. These are slightly concave all around. It's not actually cut and polished. I was a bit surprised. It's sort of, you can sort of feel a bit of a ripple across it. Anyway, it's quite a nice, well-finished piece. Crystal's kind of a grey colour. I suspect this is 20th century. Maybe not as late as the 40s. Could be 20s. Anyway, I bought a pair of those at my local tip shop. There's actually another one there, but I don't like owning 3. I might pick it up though if I go back. This is another mass-produced pressed crystal design. This one's French. It's the Longchamp by Crystal Dark, and it's a little single shot glass. I bought 4 of these for $1 each. Not worth much, but I might have a couple lying around. I think I can sell them as it says 6. We've got a good piece coming up at the end, so hang around if you're still watching. This is a really beautiful cut crystal liqueur glass by Webb, and I don't normally buy these. These were $3 each. I told myself I'm not going to buy these liqueur glasses anymore, but this one was just so dainty and, you know, well made and just really good quality. You know, you've got like a double band up here, you've got hobnails, you've got another band, you've got diamond cutting, you've got a very unusual stem. It's kind of like panel cut down, and then there's a bulge in the stem. That's panel cut down to the tip of the bulge, and then it's another panel cut down, but it gives this faceted look. Really very interesting. Star cut base, and it's signed Webb there. Perfect condition. I bought 2 of those. They'll be really hard to sell. Webb is a name that no one really cares about anymore in these parts. This is kind of glass because it has a glass line. It's really quite a beautiful thing. I think it's an open sugar bowl. And we have a nice cobalt glass. Wow, it looks good against the white. It's a bit more purpley colour in real life, but that's a nice cobalt glass liner. Got a big chip off it somewhere, but still. Just thought I'd throw that in as a bit of a bonus. And now we'll get to the controversial piece. Why controversial? Because I might have paid too much, folks. I might have paid way too much. And this is a Waterford Cristal footed bowl. And just randomly I typed vintage Cristal on eBay, and this one had literally been listed a few hours earlier for 95 Australian dollars. And I thought that was a bargain, so I bought it. I think it was about $20 postage as well. And it's the Castletown pattern according to the vendor. I haven't double checked that. Let's have a look at it. You got this sort of reeded edge here, sort of diverting to my numismatic terminology there. So like a reeded coin edge all the way around. Got like a double band here all the way around as well. Quite large hobnails, and another double band here. We have like a capstan style stem there, and on the base, big polished pontil, but basically star cut. I think it was a 56-point star. We have an edgemaker's mark in there somewhere, just an usual Waterford mark. Now, the execution of the cutting, guys, is actually not that good. Like, look at how wonky some of these hobnails are. Some of them like do terminate to a nice point, and then some of them have like big flat spots. And it might be hard to see, but just take my word for it. This band around here, it's actually a bit wonky. Not a lot, but anyway. So yeah, not the greatest execution of the cutting. Now I'm a little annoyed with the seller because they said it was 19 centimeters across. It's actually 18.5, and it's going right to the edge of the reading. And that doesn't sound like a big difference. I guess it's not, but I don't know. It just sounds a lot smaller. I bought it because I thought it was underpriced. I didn't buy it because I want to use it. I do quite like it. It's a good size and shape, I think, but anything smaller is going to be worth less in this type of object. So yeah, $95 plus postage. I still think it's probably worth closer to $200. There might even be sales history more like $300 from what I've seen, but yeah, and there's this bit of scratching inside. There's, oddly enough, a little chip somewhere off here. God knows how someone managed to do that. And a tiny little flea bite on the rim somewhere. So it wasn't, I think they said it was like pristine condition. It's not quite pristine. It's a little smaller than they said as well. But aside from that, yeah, it's a pretty decent piece of crystal. Weighs 1.9 kilograms. Yeah, these are often a bit too big, at least for a single person. Like if you're using it for a fruit bowl or something. These, big, I shouldn't say big, but these sort of centerpiece bowls. So, yeah, I wish it was bigger for the sake of the value, but in terms of practical use, I actually don't mind this size. I'll put it in quarantine for a while. I don't resell things just after I bought them online. I give it a bit of time to breathe, but yeah, I'll hopefully get my money back on this. I'm sure I'll get my money back, but at least we've got something to show. Oh, we've got some panel coating here as well. Around there. I've not actually owned a piece of Waterford this big before, so it's a bit of a new object for me. It's definitely the easiest of the major brands to sell, for better or worse. So yeah guys, that's the Waterford Cristal, and that's it for this video. Thanks for watching as usual. See you in the next one.